Well, welcome to another episode of the Crowley Connect. As you may be aware, this week is National Travel and Tourism Week all throughout the country. And this week we're celebrating tourism having an essential role in driving our nation's economy, but also cultivating vibrant communities and forging connections. So it only seems right that we talk to Milwaukee's foremost tourism expert, and that is the CEO of Visit Milwaukee, Peggy Williams-Smith. Welcome to the Crowley Connect, Peggy.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So we want to just want to get right into it. And so I want to really start with a really high level question. And that question is, why is tourism so important to both Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin?
Well, that is a great question, and it's one of my favorites. At Visit Milwaukee, we believe the health of Milwaukee's economy starts with a visit. In Milwaukee County alone, visitors generate over $2 billion in direct spending at our businesses for a total economic impact of nearly $4 million in Milwaukee County alone. And that's an incredible amount. And it's over 26,000 Milwaukee County residents with family supporting jobs. And that visitor spending also offsets the tax burden that Milwaukee County residents um, would face without tourism. So, we are spending by our visitors generated over $215 million in state and local taxes in Milwaukee County in 2022, which equates to about $800 per family of four in an offset of taxes. That's a new washing machine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So what you're saying is tourism creates more money, creates more opportunities.
It does, and it brings money from the outside, money that we typically wouldn't see. So it allows people to come in. And then sometimes also a visitor becomes someone who falls in love with the city and wants to move here. And I've heard that story 1,000 times. And one actually at an event of yours, there was a young woman that it was an event that you were holding about a year ago. And I was there and I had my Visit Milwaukee pin on. And a young woman walked up and she said, "Are you with Visit Milwaukee?" And I said, "I am." And she said, "I visited Milwaukee about 7 years ago, once for a conference. But during COVID, I started following the social media channels of a few different cities because I had decided after it was done, she was a lifelong New Jerseyan, she was going to move somewhere cold that she had never been. And she did. She had moved to Milwaukee. She works for the Milwaukee Tech Hub Coalition, and she credited how we showcase the city, not just the city for its tourism, but also how we highlighted you and the new mayor and how exciting our entire city was. So sometimes we create residents as well.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I do remember that conversation as well. Now, talking more about Visit Milwaukee. Now, the organization is committed to not just showcasing the city, right? You're showcasing all of the greater Milwaukee area as a premier business and leisure travel destination. How in the world does your team accomplish that mission?
Well, we are the only local organization that's solely dedicated to marketing and selling Milwaukee on a national and international scale. And we're huge cheerleaders for the region. We do that by highlighting and promoting our businesses, our venues, facilities, and family attractions, by telling the story of what our amazing city and the region have to offer. We host tours and influencer events, and we are traveling around the country. We attend over 60 trade shows and sales missions each year to introduce people to Milwaukee through meeting and event planners. Even our little brother in Illinois, we call it our south suburb, took
Yes.
notice as part of our experiential leisure marketing campaign last year. We took over Union Station in Chicago so that Chicagoland residents knew that the best summer festivals are just a train ride away. And the Republican National Convention is another example of how we create economic impact, not just for the residents and the people in Milwaukee County, but throughout the region. It's an event that will bring a global audience and more than $200 million in economic impact to our hotels, our restaurants, our event venues, our bars over the course of 1 week in July.
That is so awesome. And I know you all are bringing so many different organizations, conventions, and trade shows to Milwaukee. And I see myself as an extension of Visit Milwaukee. And I know you all had the opportunity, I had the opportunity and had the honor to get some input because you all just launched a new brand just recently. And so I was honored to be a part of this process. Love watching not just your vision, but your team's vision really come to fruition. But can you talk to our listeners, our audience, a little bit about the new branding, what it means, but also why is it important to update this particular branding for Visit Milwaukee?
Well, when you've got someone in an elected position like yourself who was born and raised here, it's really important to get the input from people from all over the city. We knew the brand, the former brand. It was the right brand at the right time when it was launched in 2005. We had a world-class architect who designed it, and it was fantastic. But we knew about 5 years ago when I came in, the team told me right when I first started that they didn't feel that the brand represented the entire city. So we wanted to make sure that during this process, we talked to everyone. We spoke with people from all over the city. We did surveys. It was a 2-year project, and we did a lot of research to make sure that we talked to everyone. It's an entirely frightening project for someone like me who is also born and raised in Milwaukee County, and I know how hard change is sometimes.
Sure.
So I was challenging the team at every single step. I'm like, do we need to change this? Is this really what the time is? But the more I talk to people, and when we met with you, and when we met with other leaders throughout the city, and we started to show them what the new brand could look like, everyone saw something different. And that was just amazing to me because they saw something that represented the Milwaukee that they knew. And I think that's the most important thing. And a lot of people would ask, why are you spending so much time on the residents and what they think of Milwaukee? You need to have the people who live here love the city in order for us to be able to authentically sell this city.
Absolutely.
And that is absolutely what's happening now. I've been here my entire life, my entire career, nearly 30 years, and I've been on panels, and it was always the bad news. And what we're seeing now, we know we have problems. Everyone has problems.
Right.
And I'm so thankful to the leadership of both our city and our county who are helping to solve some of those issues. And behind the scenes, we also work on it. But people are saying good things about our city, and that is absolutely helping us to sell the city.
You're absolutely right. And I'm glad that we're all really working together to make sure that we can move this community forward. And I know that there may be, many Milwaukee County residents who may not understand exactly what you all do at Visit Milwaukee. And that's not because of the lack of trying, but most of your messaging is focused outside of Milwaukee to bring folks into this community. But I know there's opportunities that residents may be able to take advantage of. And so can you talk to some of the Milwaukee residents about how they can become a tourist even in their own backyard? Because I truly believe that there are things that many folks who grew up here, who live here, may not actually know what we have available.
Well, we average between 500,000 and 1 million visitors to our website on a monthly basis. And I will tell you that a good percentage of those are locals. They do. And I think it's really important that I do podcasts like this, and I talk to the residents so they understand everything that Milwaukee has to offer. So you can start by following our social media channels, which are all at Visit Milwaukee. And then you can check out our website. Again, some of you already do, which is visitmilwaukee.org. There's thousands of ideas for things to do in our city. And it's also home to the best and most robust event calendar in our region. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't remind all of your listeners that they can help bring major events and conventions to Milwaukee too. If they have one in mind, whether it's for a hobby group, an association, a sporting event, or something else, we're all ears. I know that you've brought us several leads, and those are things that we go after with full force, because then we can tell people who are coming here for the first time how amazing the city is.
Absolutely. Peggy, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for not just your friendship, but your passion, the drive that you bring to this position to continue to move our community forward. And I know that you and your team, you've been working hard. You secured a national political convention. You brought the Bravo show Top Shelf to Milwaukee, and you continue to advocate on behalf of all Milwaukee tourism business. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do because you're truly keeping Milwaukee on the national map. You truly are.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for all of your support because
Absolutely.
it's absolutely essential that our elected officials understand the importance of tourism, and you absolutely do.
Thank you. Well, I would love to keep talking, but I have one more question that I pose to all of my guests at the very end, and it may be more challenging for you than it is for some of my other guests. But the question is, what is your favorite thing about our community, Milwaukee County?
That is not fair. Again, you are right. This is like saying to choose. But let me tell you something. It is amazing the amount of calls that we get about our county parks. I love everything. I love our airport, how easy it is to get in and out of our airport, the Mitchell Domes, the public museum. I grew up going to the public museum. All of those things are so important. But the parks, we get so many calls about our parks and the beer gardens, the world-class public golf courses, Brown Deer Golf Course, what used to be home to the Greater Milwaukee Open. All
Yes.
of those things are what we talk about when we're talking to people when we're not here.
Awesome. It's always the people in parks for me as well. So I appreciate that. And again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about yourself, but also about Visit Milwaukee with all of our viewers. And I hope you get a chance to enjoy and as well celebrate National Travel and Tourism Week. So hope you got some time set aside to do anything or.
We do. We've got a full slate of plans all next week. We have our mixer on Wednesday. We're going to do a press conference with the air show on Thursday. So we've got things. Watch our social media. We'll be telling you all about the impact that tourism makes on our region.
Awesome. Well, make sure that you again visit Milwaukee's their social media platforms. Again, that is at Visit Milwaukee. And again, for all of our listeners, excuse me, don't forget to even subscribe and follow the Crowley Connect, whether you're on YouTube, but you can also follow us on Twitter, also known as X, Facebook, and Instagram. But until the next time, I want to wish you and your family and everyone around you the very best, and I hope you enjoy your weekend.